Thou my everlasting portion, more than friend, all life to me. All along my pilgrim journey, Savior, let me walk with thee. Hold me with thy powerful hands, that I don't run in vain, that I don't run this heavenly race in vain. Savior, hold my hands, oh Lord, that I...
God have chosen that we live. And for us to live, there is one thing that is the most important thing about our living. The preacher in Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 13 will say that the whole duty of man on earth is to fear God and worship Him, keep His commandments. That is to say, if you do not fear God, as He said in Proverbs, you do not have wisdom. Because the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And so as we are living today, as it is called today, it is because God chooses that you live so that you can worship Him. And like they say, what is worth doing is worth doing well. Because it is good to worship God, it is good to worship Him well. If you do not worship Him well, look at what Jesus Christ, His Son, the heir to His heritage, says. He said, "These people draw near to me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, because all of what they do are teachings, commandments of men." A lot of us prefer to listen to men who, in quote, are called pastors. They call them men of God, reverend, very reverend, most reverend, vicar, father, this, that, pastor, prophets, and all of those names, because we worship titles. If somebody comes and introduces himself with a very heavy title, we seem to want to prostrate to that person because of the title he is holding. And that's why most people in our society want to become chief, they want to become king, they want to become senator, they want to become governor, they want to become president, they want to be addressed with big titles so that others will bow when they are moving. But I want to tell you that all of those, the preacher call it vanity upon vanity. They end here with you. They goes with you to nowhere because you didn't come with them. Man was created with nothing. You came out of your mother with nothing. Not even a piece of clothes. Empty body. You came out. It is when you came out that they started wearing you clothes. You never even knew the type of clothes they wore you, until when you grew and became somebody that you are able to know something. And after a while, if the life lives long and you stay up to 100 years thereabout, there is a point you get to even that people started wearing you clothes again, like when you were a child born in your mother's. And that time is worse than when you were a child. Because when you were a child, you were tender, people care for you as much. But this time that you are old and shrinking and things are, you worn out. In fact, people will even be ashamed of you. People will be scared of you. And people will not even want to come to you the way they will come, or they did when you were pretty young at that tender age. Because the skin of a child is very tender, so sweet, good, succulent to touch. But the skin of an old man is so worn out that is not even sweet. Some people's skin has become so, bad that you to touch it will irritate you. You see, at that level, you even beg. Some people beg for death to even come, and the death will not come the time they want it. You see, that tells you one thing, that the life we are living is not determined by us. It's not determined by how much money you have. It's not determined by the wealth you have. Some of us rely on our wealth and think that it is by our wealth that we are living. I want to tell you that even when people get sick and die, some people say, oh, they didn't have money, that's why he died. But some people are sick and they are in the hospital, even up till now, they've been there for years, no money, they are still there. They don't die, they are still there. Some people get to the hospital with billions of naira, and within no time, they die. The money can't save them. I'm telling you, it is your salvation, your savior, or you are held or so, is not completely dependent on your money. I'm not saying money does not matter, or money does not work. Money works, yes. Money truly works, because the Bible says money answers everything. But he said, the love of money is the root of all evil. So when you want to commit evil, commit havoc, do things, kill people, use your mother, use your beloved girlfriend, the girl that had served you well sexually in bed, you were so satisfied, you enjoy yourself with her, the same girl you turn around and use her as a source of your money. Your mother that gave birth to you, you turn around and use her as a source of your money. Your sister that have been cooking good meals for you, you use her and turn. You are a very good wife, you marry. You turn around and use her. Then who enjoys the money with you when you even get the money? Some of you sell part of your body, even take duration of your life because you want to make money and make a small tiny name that exists that will not even last 3 years after you had gone. Just because you want to drive the highest car. Just because you want to build a big house, just because you want to do like Mr. A, that you saw him driving that limousine or whatever name you call it as of today. All of those ends, and your soul goes into perpetual suffering, perpetual endless suffering. Just because it is not physical that you see, you don't know how much suffer you will suffer after this physical life. You think this physical life is just all that you need to cherish. That's not all. In fact, Jesus, the Son of God, would not have died if it is because of this physical life. He died because of our soul, the salvation of the soul of man, which is the breath of God, that God breathed into the molded object after he created man. That is the real man. That is why this flesh makes no meaning after the real man leaves it. That they say he has breath, the last breath, he has given up the ghost. So the moment the soul leaves the body, this body becomes useless, is sent into the mother earth ground, and in the next few months, ants and every other thing within the ground has seen enough food to eat. They ate it and it's finished, it's gone, becomes sand. After about 1 or 2, 3 years, you go there, you see virtually nothing. Of course, the last thing that decays is, sometimes they say, is the hair. But at last, after some years, the hair will decay, everything decay and becomes sand, completely sand. But your soul goes to a place of perpetual slavery, torture, torment, punishment as a result of the evil life you had lived when you were in the flesh. So I want to advise you, my brother, it is good to worship God. I am living to worship God, and I want to invite you to live with me to worship God. I am of the Church of Christ, and I'm a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ in the Church of Christ, the preacher of the truth. I will teach you the Bible and show you how to worship God rightly. Not this, in quote, glamour worship. No. Not this sweet, sensational worship style, call it in the denomination, whatever. No. But the worship of God in the spirit and in the truth. That's the kind of worship I will show you. If you come, the Lord will bless you. Thank you so much.